Hello and welcome back to our Porsche restoration project. This morning I'm getting ready to lay down the final coat of epoxy sealer on the shell. You can see I've masked this car off in a much different method than you would normally see. The reason I'm doing this is to eliminate something that's called bounce back. Also, I want to create an aerodynamic flow of air through the front of the car all the way out to the back of the car. That's going to help airflow through this as I spray it and make its way out the exit. I don't want to fill this booth with a lot of overspray because the overspray is going to create a lot of problems in finish smoothness. Even though I'm going to scuff this, it's going to be the same principle when I get to the finished coats. This is kind of a quickie masking job, doing it this way. So Dad and I put this on here. It's about 3 hours for two guys, so one guy about 6 hours to mask a car in this manner. When I do the final paint, it's going to take much longer than that because I'm going to be much more particular how everything is masked. Right now I just want to keep all the overspray out of the inside, keep it off our POR 15 just so it looks nice. And you can see here, sanded this dashboard March of last year. It was very, very hard to sand it. I had to use some 400 grit, sand down the orange peel, and then follow it up with some scuff. I've got a little bit of metal burn through there, so we want to reseal that before we move on to our finished paint. Also, come around the back here. Masking it this way allows me to get the gun in at much better angles, proper angles to the gun, so I'm not tipping the gun upside down to get something. Actually reach in here, spray underneath, and lay down a real nice sealer coat. So we have 100% seal on everything. Even the blind edges you don't see are really important. I'll be able to get everything here. I don't have any skirting hanging down. Everything is designed to just flow out of here. Just flow right out the back and be gone. So that's why I'm masking it in this fashion. So I'm going to be using a different kind of paint for the dashboard, not just going to epoxy it. Here's our mixed up sealer ready to go this morning. This is a PPG product. They call this Hot Rod Black. And this is like a matte finish, kind of a satin black. Comes as a kit. So you got your base color and hardener. This is a 2K product. You probably heard the term 2K used quite a bit in the paint world, and really what that means is two component. So base product plus hardener. And with this particular one, doesn't appear it has any induction time. I have to reread everything here before I shoot it, but looks like just mix and go. Whereas our epoxy, our DP here, this is a 30-minute induction time. And this has a pot life of 72 hours at 70 degrees. And I'm imagining this doesn't have much of a pot life at all. Maybe 3 hours tops at 70 degrees. So got to mix it, use it up, and that's going to be the end of it. Okay, so let's get some sealer going on this thing. Let's see how the masking works out, and we'll be right back. Okay, it's been about a day and a half since spraying our sealer coat. Right now I'm just letting it dry out and harden up. I started working with the dashboard today, doing our light scuff sanding and some light masking. Finish that up tomorrow and see how it's all drying down, really tightening up nice. Almost looks like a velvet finish on there. This epoxy really paints up nice, very forgiving. If you have any kind of issue with it, you can always work it out before you move on to base coat. It's kind of nice taking a break here at this juncture because it takes the induction timing out of the paint booth when you get ready to lay down your base coat, clear coat. So here's our dashboard, all scuffed up, scuffed really nice. When you're scuffing this, you're just scuffing it light enough to put an etch on there, but not scuffing it so hard that you're burning back through to any kind of bare metal. But, after 24 hours, no problem. You can go right in there and get the work done. You can see underneath here, I've done this several months ago. This was done right after sandblasting, and then I shot that with a cup gun and scuffed it right after. That's why I didn't reshoot that, because it was fine. And then I'm cutting in my tape line there, and then I'm going to mask to my tape line. And then tomorrow we're going to tint this car complete with plastic and get it ready for our satin paint for the dash. See, it's really smoothing out. So far looking good. Very happy with the way things are turning out. Not seeing any kind of sanding mark transfers coming through, even with this one thin coat. Get the focus here. One thin coat, and I don't see anything under there. So far so good. Chipping away at it a little bit at a time. So tomorrow, finish this up with masking, and then get on with the dashboard. I want to show you the bumpers here. I showed you the other day in my other video the ghost marking that was coming through. I'll show you how it comes out. Okay, so here's a bumper. You can see here, see that ghost mark coming through there? And a little bit of ghost mark on here. No problem, get that out with our scuff sand. I'll show you here in a second. So here's one that's been scuffed. And what I'm doing with this is I'm scuffing with the grain, so to speak. So I'm going in line. I'm not doing a pattern. I'm not going in circles. I'm just doing nice straight lines with the direction of the piece. And this here, this is the one we looked at the other day. They had the ghost marks in it. I'm gonna grab a piece of Scotch-Brite here, and I'll show you just what we need to do to get rid of that. Okay, so here we go. Just gonna scuff that up, just nice and light. Doesn't really require a lot of pressure, and that's about it. That's all you need. Just wipe that off with a damp rag. There. Okay, so just damp rag it, and there you go. That's all you're going to see in there. No ghost marks. Gone. Almost like a plate of armor, ready for base coat, clear coat. Shines up real nice and plenty smooth to do our final paint. So we're going to take it from here, move on to our dashboard, and then after that we're going to get on with some final paint. Okay guys, here we are this morning getting ready to spray our dashboard. You can see I've completely encapsulated the car with plastic, sectioned off the interior. What we don't want is we don't want any of this overspray traveling that could potentially stick to any other part of the car and become a problem. So we've scuff sanded, and then one other thing I like to do, especially if I've let the epoxy set up before going right on top of it, is I use a microfiber rag, something like this guy here, and a little bit of reducer, and I'm just taking this dashboard and I'm just quickly wiping. I'm just doing like a flash wipe. I'm not sticking the rag on there. I'm not trying to work the rag. I'm just making one quick pass. And what that's doing is that's basically just cleaning it really good and heating it up, so to speak. So it's kind of re-wetting it, taking the skin off. Here's our glove box door. Spray that in the hanging position. There we are, completely sealed. Let's take a look at our data sheet. I printed this out for you. Might be able to pause this if you're using this product. You can see exactly what it needs here. Okay, so they're calling out for a 4:1 to half ratio on our mixing. And so I've used about half the can. You can see these marks here. I always like to mark with a Sharpie. Find that, not quite seeing it. No, sorry, not gonna come through. But 4:1 to half. There's some marks on there. If you got good resolution, you can see that. That's about half the can with about half the reducer in there. So this should be plenty of product to get through at least 2 coats and possibly 3 coats. Depending on how it sprays, I'm going to put 2 coats on there. If I like it, I'll stop there. If it looks like I need to keep going, I'll put 1 more coat on. And the reason I'll put 3 coats on is only if my second coat doesn't look like it's drying up like I want it to. If it looks like it's setting up okay, I'll stop there, because one of the things I like to do when I'm painting, if I've got a good result and I'm happy with it, it's really a good idea to stop. Because if you keep going, you could end up with something and potentially have a big mess on your hands. So with this product, I think I'm going to try 2 coats. We've got a good undercoating on there, and that should blacken up for us plenty good. Okay, let's hook up the gun, get some paint going, see what she looks like. Okay guys, that's sprayed up real nice. It's been about a half an hour since my second coat, and I'm going to stop there with 2 coats. It's laying down just like I want, so I'm not going to put any more material on there. Spraying underneath your dashboard here with a gravity feed, this can be tough. So one of the ways around it, make sure you got plenty of fluid in your cup so that you're not hitting any air pockets when you're tipping your gun sideways, and work it front to back with your horns rather than sideways. So you want to be going front to back, turn your horns in a vertical position, and then when you get back up on your dashboard, roll your horns over to a horizontal position and then spray left to right. Looking really good. Very happy with that. Let's go take a look at our glove box lid. It's drying up real nice. Also nice and black. Black finish. Nice and smooth. Also, we had our first visitor this morning. Had an insect laying right on this corner, and I used my air vac to get him off of there. Feathered the throttle on that, not open throttle to get him off, just barely drawing enough air through there until he pulls off, and then one quick blast with the trigger and blends right in. And back in business. Alright, let's just take a quick look and see how much product we use with 2 coats. Here's what's left. About half, using about half here. But you're going to want a full cup if you're using a gravity feed to do this job, because you need plenty of fluid in there for tipping your gun sideways underneath the dashboard. So I would plan on throwing a little bit away. And then we just take one last quick look at our spec sheet here. So as it's drying, I can tell it's talking about a little bit of a seedy look as it's drying, and that's because it's flat. And that'll work itself out over the next couple days. But overall, I'm very happy with that. Great product, and I recommend it. Okay, next video we're going to talk about orange peel, what that is, what it means, and start laying down some color, finish paint. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.